My name's Annika Palmer, Director of the Last Kiss Foundation.
So we're here at the Galaxy Centre in Torquay. For us, for the charity, for the fans, essentially all coming together for a good time. How did this come about?
Okay, well, I'm the Director of the Last Kiss Foundation, which is a relatively new charity that we've just established, which is providing cuddle cots, which are specialist equipment that are going to the hospitals across the southwest. It's come about. Keely is our events manager, and we're looking to raise funds for the cuddle cot equipment, which is a specialist piece of equipment that supports bereaved families at a time when they've either experienced a stillbirth or a later miscarriage.
So how did the charity come about?
Okay.
Why did you think of doing this?
Come out from my experience, essentially. 12 years ago I had a stillbirth, Samantha. At the time I didn't realise how quickly some of the physiological changes would occur after birth. I had about 5 minutes with Samantha before she was taken away, and that was the last time that I saw her. I got some photographs with her, but they were in essentially a doll's basket that was quite tatty, quite frayed, and not essentially the kind of keepsake mementos that you want when you've had that experience. So I raised money for a specialist, it was essentially a little crib, which I donated to the hospital, and then in 2012 they brought out the technology, which is the cuddle cot cooling system that allows parents to spend time with their baby for as long as they want, and they can actually take the baby home with them. They can have time with grandparents, time with siblings, and this equipment allows them to do that. It's not provided by the NHS, it is something that is raised by various different charities, but we've essentially set up this charity to support the hospitals across the southwest region.
So if people want to get involved or help fundraise or put on events for yourself, or at least contact you, what do they do?
We've got our website, which is the Last Kiss Foundation, www.thelastKissFoundation.co.uk. We've also got a Facebook page, which we update, and we've got our events highlighted on our Facebook page and also on our website. And then we've also got, you can contact at our address, which is 69 The Reeves Road in Torquay, so TQ1 6EQ.
So Kevin, results are picked up, we're still fighting for our lives, but what have you made of the last 3 back-to-back wins?
No, they've been good. The squad now is the strongest it's been. I've worked hard to get the right characters in, and the attitudes are right, the spirit's right, and the last 3 games have shown that. So it was an ongoing process. We didn't have the resources or the money to be able to just say, right, I don't want you, you and you, and I want to get these in. We had to do it gradually, we had to be patient, and we're just about there now. What we've got is what's going to get us out of this trouble, and yeah, it's amazing. A couple of wins breeds a bit of confidence. All of a sudden 12 points is 5 with a game or 2 in hand, and I think 1 or 2 people have taken a little bit of notice, but I'm not really bothered about any of the outside stuff. It's what we do and how we go into each game on its own that's going to get us out of it.
We're here at the Galaxy Centre in Torquay for a bit of fundraising, a bit of team bonding, and to meet some of the fans as well. How's it gone so far?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's pretty early in. There's a few people who are going to turn up and challenge some of the lads and myself to a few games of this, that and the other. The ladies team are here, which is great, so I'm going to try and sort some competitive stuff out between the men and the ladies. But it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of team bonding. It's getting most of the lads together so they can not forget about football, but maybe enjoy the fact that last night's result was so good, chill out a little bit, and then we're raising money for the Last Kiss charity, which is a new charity, and whatever we can do to help would be great.
So just talk about Kidderminster a little bit. Big game. Grant Fisher was talking about how important the fans were last night. On Saturday we need all the help we can get in terms of the fans coming through the turnstile.
No, that's it. So I imagine Kidderminster will bring 200 or 300. I think 1 or 2 of those fans that had given up on us and maybe thought that they're not going to bother wasting the money because it was all a formality. Hopefully we've done enough to show them that it might be worth coming back and having a look at a different team. But you know, we had 80 odd fans there last night, which was amazing. We gave them something to go home happy with, and I would love to have a couple of thousand in at Plainmoor on Saturday for what is another massive game. They all are, but you know, it's very obvious that a win against Kidderminster will put us in a very good position, and it will put us way ahead of them. So it's going to be a tough game. They've improved a lot lately. They've got some good signings in. They had a little spurt themselves where they won a few games and then they found it tough the last 2 or 3. But they've not been blown away. They've been ground down by other teams lately and beat by the odd goal. So it's for us to try and capitalise on what we've done well and make sure we keep our standards up.
I mean, you've been talking about the community a lot recently. The fans have been through a lot over the last two years, and you talked about that. Can you give us any more information on the community aspect you've been talking about recently?
Yeah, well, I know it's upset 1 or 2 people what I put out because they've taken it as a personal dig. Some of the old board members and people that were around, you know, when I was here just as a player, it wasn't meant like that. It's what I'm trying to explain is that if you've sponsored this club over the last 5 or 10 years, we haven't got that many that have kept coming back for more. And generally that's because we've taken the money and then not really followed up. We've not really treated them as we should have done. We've gone to places like this in the past saying that can we do this, this and this, and they've said yes, and then we've not given anything back. And I just feel like, you know, night like tonight's a perfect example. We benefit from a team point of view. The Galaxy Centre benefits because we get their name out there and a little bit of advertisement. It doesn't really cost them any money, and a charity benefits as well. Now, everybody wins, and that's what I'm trying to get at. If we do things right and we use players as the commodities that they are, get them out there, get them taking PE lessons, taking kids for coaching sessions, turning up for question and answers at school, whatever it is that maybe attracts the next generation of fans along, because it doesn't take much for a footballer to sit in front of a young lad, have a chat with them, be respectful, and all of a sudden that can be that person hooked for the next 50 years of their life as a Torquay United fan. You know, Jamie Sinclair, who's been here, he talks often about the circle of life with fans. How if the family stand is full, 10 years from now the pop stand will be full, 15 years from there Bristow's bench will be full. Well, he's got a point. There's something to that. But the only way we can become a sustainable club is to have everybody in this area on board and wanting to help. And my experience over the last 10 years pretty much of being here is that we've burnt a lot of bridges and not given anything back on that front. We've had great people coming in and putting money into the club selflessly and all that kind of stuff, because if they hadn't, the club wouldn't be here. I certainly wasn't having a go at any of the old directors, because if it wasn't for them, I would never have had the best years of my career, which I have done, you know, over those first 5 or 6 years that I was here. So it's a lot of work to be done, but what I was talking about was the club as a whole. We've all made mistakes, myself, the current board, everybody involved over the last 10, 15 years has, but there's a lot of things we can rectify, and we've got to start, and if we don't, then it's just going to carry on like that with nobody wanting to help us and everybody on the back foot. So I think it's time that we started giving back a little bit without expecting, building trust, building bridges, planting seeds, or however you want to describe it, and then trying to watch that grow. But we can't just talk about it, we've got to put it in action. So that's why I talked about an action group, a group of people with links at the club and links in the community. You can sit down once a month, put together a plan of action, put together some ideas on how best to reconnect with the fans and the community and the kids and schools and all that. And then it's up to me then and my players and the people that are employed at the club to go out and put those plans into action. And if we can do that, I really think that you could get this place rocking again. You know, 2007 we had 3,000 average at the Plainmoor, so those fans are out there. We've just got to get them back. And there's lots of people in the past that have sponsored but then gone away because they haven't been treated right, and we need to show them that we're trying to do things right now, because every little bit helps at a club like this. Every penny through the door is a massive help, either to me on the playing side of it or to the general running of the club. And the club is here for its fans. There's no other reason for this club to be here. So work to be done, but exciting on and off the pitch. If we can get it right and make sure we stay in this league, then I'll have a lot to do over the summer, but I'd very much look forward to it.